Imagine you are suddenly without friends, without property, without money. You have been betrayed by the one that you should be able to rely upon, and then you find yourself cast away on a remote island with very little means to survive. How would you cope? What would you do? Hello everyone, welcome to Harry's Book Cafe. Today let's talk about Allegra Goodman's Isola. The scenario I have just outlined is exactly what happened to the 16th century French noblewoman Marguerite de la Rique. This is an actual event. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the plot, however this is not a spoiler. What you're about to hear you can actually find out from the first two chapters, and also you can find out from the synopsis at the back of the book. So Isola tells the story of this French noblewoman. When she was born, both her parents were passed away, so she was growing up being looked after by her nanny, having done absolutely no work whatsoever in her life. However, just when she thought her life would be a peaceful existence, her property, her money, her land has been entrusted to her guardian, who was supposed to look after her. Unfortunately, the guardian was very ambitious and he mortgaged all her property to finance his voyage to New France, or the modern day Canada. Unfortunately, that voyage did not pay off, and as a result, Marguerite de la Rique, without knowing she was rich, lost everything she ever had. Then the story progresses to her voyage to Canada with her guardian. On the ship, she met someone whom she falls in love with, and that part of the story is simply beautifully told. The prose just jump out of the pages, and you as a reader really feel the emotional connection between Marguerite and her lover. Angry with this liaison, the guardian cast them away to a tiny little island with very little means to survive as punishment. In addition to this, Marguerite's nanny was also cast with them. So the main part of the book is really a reimagining of how she survived on this island for 2 winters. I really enjoy this story, not only because the story itself is incredibly appealing, but the prose of the writing is simply beautiful and lyrical and almost poetic. Every single sentence is incredibly well structured, and this applies to the chapters, to the paragraphs, to the dialogue. Everything is almost perfection. Just give you a quick example of her prose, just how beautiful her prose are. And this happens to be the very first sentence of the novel. So let me read it to you. I never knew my mother. She died the night I was born, and so we passed each other in the dark. Isn't that beautifully melancholic? We passed each other in the dark. It's just incredibly touching sentence. Allegra Goodman is an extraordinary writer who has an incredible ability to note everyday conversation and applied that observation into her novels. And Isola is a good example of that. Every character feels realistic and feels three-dimensional. Marguerite herself, this incredibly innocent noblewoman who hasn't done a single day's work, suddenly finds herself stranded on this remote island where she must kill, she must hunt, she must be able to sleep on a granite floor in order to survive. How will she do that? And also, her guardian, he's incredibly terrifying, not because he's some sort of monster with 2 heads, but he's terrifying because he's extremely ambitious. He's terrifying because he's indifferent to human lives. He's terrifying because what he had in plan to Marguerite. Those characters and the nanny herself, whom Marguerite see as her mother, was incredibly well developed. Every single character, even the supporting cast, are just so well rounded. just beautifully written. Hi guys, sorry to jump in here. Talking about fully developed characters, I think the exception is Marguerite's husband. He's a little bit raw, not quite two-dimensional as such, nothing that bad, just a little bit raw and needs a little bit more development. But apart from him, everything else is just perfect. So who is this book for? Now, if you enjoyed the movies of The Revenant or Castaway, you will really appreciate the book's raw, immersive, visceral depiction of human survival against a brutal wilderness. Isola focuses and shares the intense physical and psychological struggle, battle with nature. If you enjoy those movies, you will have no problem enjoying this book. In addition, if you really like Lauren Graff's Matrix, you will absolutely love Isola, because both books share beautiful, intelligent heroines who find themselves exiled to a remote location and where they must build up a new world, where they must find their sense of self. You will love this book. Also, if you love Maggie O'Hara's Hamnet, you will really appreciate this book too, because both books are female-focused historical novels which seeks to retell an actual historical event, trying to bring to light the women who had been forgotten by history. You will absolutely love this book. And also, before I sign off, I just want to point out an observation I have noted, and that is the name Isola. Isola is Italian meaning island, but it also sounds a little bit Isola, to really reinforces the main thesis of this novel. It also sounds like isolation, again reinforces the main thesis of this novel. It's just a beautiful, beautiful name to go with a beautiful, melancholic novel. Many critics has said that the beginning of the book, the first full 1/3 of the book, is quite a slow burn. Technically they are correct, however I don't think I find the first 1/3 parts of the book boring, because it was essential to build up a character of Marguerite and also her best friend Claire. It can be a little bit slow, I guess, from certain people's perspective, but for me, I find it incredibly engaging. Now, finally, should you buy it? Should you borrow it? Should you skip it? I enjoy this novel tremendously. I think this is something that really could be part of your collection. So my recommendation is go out and buy it and add it to your collection. It's a beautiful novel. Anyway guys, that's the end of the review. It's short and sweet, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumb up and share it with your friend. And I shall see you in the next one. Happy New Year, everyone. Cheerio.